Alright guys, Suchcrop here, back again today. A few things to discuss in terms of news and information really for the upcoming CDL season. I believe it starts in like 10 days time from now, so I've got 10 more videos to make before the league begins. Definitely got some ideas surrounding that. But of course the league begins in Minnesota, so today's the 14th. 24th is the first day of that Minnesota opening weekend. All the teams are going to be there. Each of the teams are going to play 2 games against 2 matches, 2 best of 5s to our understanding against some of the other teams in the competition. Then we start this whole weekend event situation, which you guys talked about in a lot of depth in yesterday's comment section, so I appreciate that. I'll leave the link down to yesterday's video if you guys haven't checked it out. Yesterday talked about, do I talk too quick? Do I talk too, slow? Obviously I don't talk too slow, but some people maybe think I do because there was a couple of comments pretty mind-blowing. Some people playing my videos on 2 times speed. I respect that. You're cracked as hell. Far more cracked than I am, but I'll do my best. I think keeping up the tempo makes things as entertaining as possible. That's definitely what I find. Regardless, let's hop right into it. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. All that good stuff. So anyway, first of all, CoD League. If you guys are anywhere near Minneapolis, Minnesota, you might be interested in actually helping to work and put on the Call of Duty League launch weekends. This is something I did. It wasn't paid at the time, but I did this for the CWL Birmingham event back in 2018. That was honestly a fantastic experience. Much more enjoyable to help put on the event, do some admin, do some refereeing, than it was just to attend. And you also got to be a fan at the same time. So if you guys are interested and you're in the region, it's something I would recommend doing. And also paid positions, get your foot in the door of esports, this kind of stuff. Definitely recommended if you guys are in the region. If not, then, maybe fly several hours. Not necessarily saying that's recommended. They're not going to pay for your flights. But regardless, could be a good way to get in the door. And also keep an eye out for this and other opportunities going forwards in your area. Maybe the events are looking for volunteers. I think that the Birmingham event I helped out at, Insomnia 62, they weren't even putting on the event. Multiplayer Esports were putting on the event, but Insomnia put out a tweet saying, we're looking for volunteers, and part of those options was a, CWL volunteering thing. So keep your eye on that, and if there is an event local to you that you would like to help out in, have a look at the social media feed and even reach out to people and be proactive about it. If you'd like to help out at your local event, there's definitely going to be opportunities going on, even if it's volunteering stuff. So moving on from that, a couple of little bits of drama here. Talking on Twitter related to the 2K, Holler says super annoyed with Parasite right now. The guy is so weird for a 2K for literally no money. Everyone uses the P1 contest spot, and it hasn't been said in scrim chat. So there's a few contest spots in the game which you can contest the hill from outside of the hard point. I believe way back in Hijacked in Black Ops 2, there used to be a spot where you could do this as well, which was not considered fair or legal or anything like that. But Holler's talking about it here. There's definitely some going back and forth between him and Looney, and Clayster then says, any spots where you can cap the hill outside the border of the hill is considered a glitch spot and will probably come with some sort of forfeit or disqualification. P1 on cave, P2 on cave, P1 and P2 on Petro, which is honestly pretty crazy how this is even a possibility. The game obviously isn't in the best state right now, but still interesting to keep your eyes on going forward. And thanks to Eskimo Liquor for pointing this out to me on Twitter. Feel free for you guys to do that as well in the Twitter sphere. I always pay attention to my notifications and messages. I try and get around to replying as much as possible. Another tweet here there from Jordan D. Just saw this. Scumper atted Nashi. You missed me yet? Didn't obviously deserve an entire video. I wonder if this is just drama, banter between 2 of them, or whether they played each other in a scrim or something, and maybe Chicago Huntsmen got the better of OpTic Gaming. Interesting though, this one, because we know that Dashi apparently was rumoured that after he ended up getting signed on to OpTic, it turns out he actually kind of wanted to be on Chicago, and he was trying to maybe finesse his way onto the team instead of Gunless. Nothing of the sort worked out, but that was rumoured at least for a while. Got no confirmations on that or anything, but that was the rumour that Dashi actually wanted to go alongside Scump, but didn't, he'd already signed the contract, and then Scump and that decided to go and leave over to Chicago. However, based on the story that Scump told us recently, he was pretty sure he was going to be teaming with Formal wherever quite early on. So I'm not sure exactly the validity of that story, but it's definitely something that we have heard. A couple of more things to discuss then before we go on to the title of the video, of course, and that is Nameless being confirmed back into the CDL talent roster. We have this from the Royal Ravens. So I believe at the February event, I don't think they have a Challengers format or whatever, or maybe they do have some things going on, but I'm not 100% sure. But regardless, whatever's going on there, it's all set in stone. It can't really be changed. So as the Royal Ravens say here, players, we hear you. While we've been unable to change the Challengers format for the February event, we'll be offering a much larger 100-plus team Challenger tournament in June, which is really cool to see. It'd be crazy if they get that many teams along, because right now I look at the Call of Duty scene and maybe there is isn't as much enthusiasm from the competitive side as there was, say, a year ago today. But at the same time, it still seems like there's a hell of a lot of teams over in Minnesota playing over there. And if Royal Ravens can get another 100 teams for the Challengers Tournament, like in June, when the second one is, that'd be incredible to see. Hopefully other teams will follow the format and try and get a lot of Challenger teams as well, especially given the 5v5 format. That's a serious amount of amateur players trying to make it in the professional scene. Cool to see. Interesting that they announced this at 11:32 on a Tuesday morning, but yeah, regardless, we'll provide more details soon. We hope you'll still come and support us at the Copper Box in February. I'll definitely be there. So here we go then, Nameless. See y'all in Minnesota. Hot takes are back. Upside down smiley face at COD League. Contract, it's official. Seems like it's part of the contracts nowadays that you have to tweet out this GIF whenever you've signed a contract. But Nameless is going to be back in the league. So thanks to Minnesota actually for pointing out to me that Anthony Wheeler will be in Minnesota. On-air talent, host of the podcast, etc., etc. Bad Moon talent, all of this kind of stuff. So Nameless is going to be back on the analyst desk. We know that Pac-Man has left. Of course, he's gone over to be the OpTic Gaming coach, which surprised quite a lot of people. Maven and Merkley are expecting announcements from them relatively soon. We have heard that they have had contract negotiations in the works that should be coming to conclusions. It's almost impossible to believe that Maven wouldn't be in the league. I imagine Merk will be as well. Other individuals as well that we've talked about. Jess Brohard mentioned a while ago that, she's not exactly sure if anything is going to be signed and set in stone. We have these people leaving the Overwatch League. Puckett especially is a big one. Could come back as a host for some events. Could do some interviewing stuff instead of Jess, depending on which way they want to go with it, given that Puckett was such a staple of Call of Duty competitive way back since like Black Ops 2 all the way through Black Ops 3 and then, in Infinite Warfare even, and then since then he kind of went over to the Overwatch League and did his thing there for a while. Now he's going freelance as well. Nowadays, it's definitely a possibility he can come back into the league. We'll have to see who fills out the rest of the analyst desk alongside Nameless, because, the analyst desk last season, we had Studdy, we had Pac-Man. In my opinion, probably the best of the bunch was Nameless. Towards the end of the season, I thought he did a really good job. He did a good job providing contrary opinions. Maybe it took him a few months to get to the point where he was a real great feature, but I thought he was really, really good towards the end of the season. Not surprised at all that they want him back. Maybe they didn't want Pac-Man back, or maybe they just offered him a load of money over on OpTic Gaming. Who knows what will happen with Studdy and how the rest of the analyst desk will be filled out, because Mr. X is another guy you can consider. Potentially you could get some ex-pros in as well. I've always thought it would be great to get Callum Swanee or something on the analyst desk. I don't really know what he's up to nowadays, but would be cool to see. But regardless, who do you think should fill out the rest of the analyst desk, and who do you think should be alongside Nameless in the hosting kind of role? We've talked about Puckett as a potential host, but we've got these weekend events all the way around the world. Does that mean that Nameless is going to be flying out every other weekend all the way over the world and doing every single event? Possibly. Who knows exactly how they're going to organise it. There's 14 weekends throughout the season. The first weekend, the 12 weekends minor events. I like the categorisation in the comment section below, saying that the end of season event is the major, and then the mid-season events are minors, which I think is fair enough, but it's difficult characterisation to make really, but probably makes sense. Regardless, will Nameless be at every single one? Will he maybe miss a couple, depending on how his contract is organised? Maybe there's opportunity for other individuals to hop into play, I'd love to see Bryce and Tan have opportunity, especially in the UK ones, or maybe in the European ones more generally in Paris and London, to get their, name in the gear where they might not be, performing or, casting. I don't know why I said performing really in the North American ones. We'll have to see how exactly the CDL decide to go with it. Katie Bedford, of course, a big name. She has been doing she's been very active on the Call of Duty Twitter sphere as of late. We haven't really seen anything from her about, guaranteed contracts or exactly what's going on there. But we have seen quite a lot from her saying, I'm going to be at least tweeting with the pros and interacting in that manner. So if that's anything to go by, Katie may well be back on the desk, but of course no guarantees at this point. And with, Puckett over around there and Mr. X and some other individuals, as I was saying, potentially coming back into the fray, who knows how exactly it will ride out. And especially given we don't have as many simultaneous games and events going on right now, the CDL doesn't need as much talent as it has in previous seasons. Let's say at Champs or something, you had the open, okay, you've got the open stream still to consider, so that's definitely one part of it. But at Champs, you had not necessarily the open stream at Champs, but say at Anaheim, you had the open stream, then you also had Alpha, Bravo, and then Charlie and Delta streams are also going on. Didn't always have casters, but there was the opportunity there. Nowadays, we don't have any of that because we have 8 teams at each event, we have the 2 groups, we have maybe an Alpha and a Bravo stream, but who even knows if we need a Bravo stream? It's possible that every single match could happen on the main stage. That's plausible, might be slightly difficult to schedule, but who knows? So yeah, definitely some things to consider there. Wanted to go through a couple more things then before we finish off the video. Hastro says the Dallas Empire is scrimming in the new NVH quarters, or headquarters, for the first time today. Crimsix bringing the intensity as usual. Earmuffs for the young children at 19 seconds in. So yeah, I'll share you guys this just to have a look at what exactly is going on in the Dallas Empire headquarters there, because it's a really cool little thing to see. They've got this whole setup going. It's interesting just to compare this to what the Paris Legion are doing, right? With Zed saying that he's only just flying out to Los Angeles to start practicing with his team in Paris. Dallas have got this setup. They're all next to each other, exactly in the format they would be in a proper game. And honestly, that practice difference probably makes a pretty big difference in terms of how you're going to perform when it comes down to business. You Crimsix sitting here on the far left, or on the far right, I guess, from the audience's perspective, which is where he's typically sit when he's been on OpTic Gaming, right? So interesting to see how the lineup goes, because quite often I kind of like this. They've got Clay on the end here, and then they've got Crim on this end. Kind of makes sense in terms of guiding the guys in the middle, I suppose. Usually you have your in-game leader type figure in the middle, but some teams lately have been switching that up. I've been seeing it go around Counter-Strike as well, how sometimes the older guys, I think it was Carrigan, just a quick CS analogy for you guys. Carrigan, I believe, in CSGO was sitting next to Woxic or something on the mouse sports team they have right now, instead of sitting in the middle. And that was so that he could look at Woxic's screen and know what was going on to like figure things out mid-game. It's possible that Clayster and Crimsix are thinking similar things with the guys that they're sitting next to help guide them in the right direction. That's something to consider. That's something that when you have a lot of time to practice like this and you have an H-quarters set up, well, I don't know why I'm saying that. But anyway, when you have that sort of situation set up, you're in a position to help make those better decisions.
What's up, everybody? Mike here. I promise you guys we'll finish this construction on our HQ at some point soon. But look, it's day one of the Dallas Empire Call of Duty team training in the new HQ. It's lit in here right now. I don't know who. Okay, somebody beep that for me. But yeah, Crimsix is in the house, obviously. The guys are training in here. I'm pretty excited to have them all inside the office. Love all of you guys who are supporting our team out there. We'll keep you guys updated from the new HQ as we build it out and get it nicer. Stay tuned. See ya.
So there we go then, that's just all for today. Finally from Gabriel, myself, Leo Scars, BBL, Krevs and J Hust are looking for, Brazilian powerhouse team, looking for an organisation in the path to pro season. Clayster says you'll just need travel funding, which is really cool to see from Clayster. He always does this kind of thing, looking up to these people. But yeah, we talked about this team a while ago. They're already in Las Vegas, but they are looking for to get an organisation. So if you guys are an organisation out there looking for a team, could be a pretty spicy one. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new as always. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.